What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with another Shnootz Rootz, and I'm back to redo another video that I already did on my old channel. This is such an amazing tune. It's by Lab-4. If you didn't know, Lab-4 are sort of a legendary duo. They got their start in the early to mid 90s, released stuff on like Alien recordings, and they released a tune called Reformation that was then redone by them in a tune called Reformation, and that's what we're going to listen to here. This tune, it later had a sequel, Reformation 2, as well as a couple remixes. That record is great. I did that. I reacted to 2 different remixes of Reformation 2, including the original, on my old channel, but I'm going to redo that one too. And the reason I'm going to redo these videos, because I mentioned it before, when I got started, number 1, I didn't quite get the sound levels right. Number 2, I was sort of hiding off camera, which was sort of like an ego or lack of ego thing, because I didn't want to be like, oh, it's about me and me being in front of the camera. It was like, no, it's about the tune. But then I was sort of like blocking the sound a little bit, so it's been an evolution. And ultimately, I was just verbose. There were a lot of videos early on where I just talked too much up front, so I'm not going to do that this time. We're going to listen to a tune by Lab-4, Adam Newman and Les Elston. Les has recently started to use the Lab-4 name again, and he's releasing a tune which, like acid, I think it's like acid techno, maybe hard acid trance, but he's releasing a tune on vinyl, so he's like sort of resurrected the Lab-4 name, which I think it was like 06 or 07, they stopped doing like performances as a duo, stopped putting out new material. But I do think Les continued to perform under the name from time to time. But like I said, it seems like in recent times he made that track with Sterling, New Eon. I don't think I put it up on my channel yet, but I'm not going to redo that video. I think that one was a little better. It was later after I'd been doing them a while, and I think that video kind of like, the tune really hit me in the moment. So I'm going to get that one up. I'll upload it as soon as I finish uploading this one. But yeah, this is a classic tune. When I first heard this it was like another tune from the, what is it, Techno Importe like sub-label. I mentioned it, the Sound of Acid Core series, that one, the Acid Trance Core one. Those were like really important releases to me that sort of put me on to certain artists and labels. But there was another one called like Illegal Techno, like number 2 or something, and this tune was on there. I mentioned it in the other video. My friend got a copy of this record before I did, but I did get it pretty early. It was like 99. I played it at a party back in the day. It killed it. So here we go. This is some wicked acid trance, wicked hard trance, but if you know the tune, then you'll know, like, even if that's true about the first half of the tune, the second half of the tune just takes it to a whole new level. So here we go. This is Lab-4, Reformation. By the way, there's a remix by the Liberators on the other side, and it's a rare day indeed when the Liberator mix, to me, is the B-side. I think it's good. It really is sort of cool, and it has a more gritty kind of techno feel. But to me, the original on this one is where it's at. So here we go. This is Elementary Records Limited, 1995, is that right? Oh, and what am I saying? It's 97. 1997. This is Reformation by Lab-4. Oh, hold on. Sorry. This needle, I swear, it's getting like more dust on it lately that like stubbornly won't get off. Oh wait, is that? Yeah, that's the Liberator mix. This is one of those records where normally the label side is the A side, right? But this one, it's actually the info side. So here we go. Lab-4, Reformation, 1997. And by the way, this one is fast. Because that's how we rolled in 97. I mean, 97 is like, I mentioned it before, 96 is when I first discovered electronic music through my older brother, but 97 is when I started exploring it kind of on my own and finding other genres. And yeah, discovering acid trance and acid techno is a revelation that continues to guide my life 2.5 decades later. Wait for that bass line, it's coming. It's coming. That high percussive rattle now. Right before the bass line comes in, the kick drum will like reverse. There's like a backward 4. Oh, one more. I remember thinking that the intro of this one was very short, so I'm actually surprised it's this long. And you're off. I used this at a party. It was the last tune of the set. And I mentioned it before, there are some tunes where it's like, there's nothing that could come after this. This has to be the final tune, because nothing can follow it. This is like a perfect example of what I mean when I say that. But you notice the pace, right? It's fast as fuck. The bass line is just nice and groovy. It's hard, but not like crazy rough. Got a rhythmic acid snarl coming. A gurgle maybe. Here we go. And when I tell you there's some like sci-fi dystopian industrial sounds coming. If you don't know the tune, I hope you appreciate my meaning. Cymbals. Which at the time it wasn't. There's a vocal coming in the 21st century. That dissonant, industrial, dystopian synth pad, whatever it is, forget about it. And all the while that acid gurgle carrying weight. It's like the dying cry of like a metallic beast. Feels like you're in like destruction's path, like you gotta like find cover. Alright, so like you're thinking, alright, I know what the tune is. It's hard, it's fast, it's gritty, it's got that like industrial synth, and then you're like, oh, okay, this is like kind of an aggressive, frantic melody. Right. But it's not like the tune would speed up in a crazy way that you're not expecting. Surely not. Oh my god, the first time I heard this, I had goosebumps. I was like, oh fuck. Again, like Blade Runner vibes, like sci-fi, post-apocalyptic, like decayed society vibes. Tension string. The melody kind of turns inside out, fades. You know it's gonna whip the fuck back around. At a tempo, like +4. First time I tried to mix this, I was like, wait a minute, like, I swear I had it matched and now it's faster, like what? But again, I eventually realized, you know, don't even bother, there's nothing that can follow this tune and reach the same level. Wait for the roll, there's a lovely roll coming. Melancholy to it. It's got energy, it's frantic, but it's like it's a lament. Forlorn. Now it just rides it. And then eventually there's this like angelic pad that comes out of nowhere. You're like, what? honestly, their production for this phase, like, it brings the kit back in sort of normal, but then it does a roll and then it drops. Like, I love it. It's like all in rhythm, but all idiosyncratic within the rhythm. By the way, we still got like 2 minutes. You're like, wait, what? How? And having gone through that war zone earlier, and then that like intense frantic melody, it's like we found like Xanadu. We've arrived at Valhalla. Listen to the kick rolling and bouncing. Simple smashing. Again, like, don't even bother trying to mix out of this. Just like, let it melt the turntables. Watch the people's faces. Like, I mean, when I played it, I remember there were some people up front that were like, "Oh my god!" Like, yeah, I know. Like the end of a live performance on gear that happens to be on a record. That's what it feels like. Unbelievable. The way the tempo changes in the back like third of the tune, the particular sonic character of that big sort of sweeping but slightly like morose or lamentful melody, brilliant. The acid snarl that carried it for the first like 2/3, brilliant. I mean, honestly, it's one of those tunes that like, it's an eccentric work of art. Like, if you tried to change it, if you tried to reconfigure it, I feel like there would be diminishment. It's like that line in Amadeus. But I did mention that they came back and they did a Reformation 2, which I think is fantastic. It's a little different. It's like equally, if not even faster. It's a bit more in like a hard house meets hard trance mode. At least the original. There's a DJ Oberon mix, which is more, I would say, like proper hard house, and that one kind of has like a wicked evil clown vibe in the breakdown. Like I said, I reacted to these things on my other channel, but I'm gonna have to redo them because I was just a bit too loquacious in those videos, and also I don't know if the sound was as good as I've sort of found the like spot for it now. And ultimately, I used to be off camera, so it was like, who's even talking? Nevertheless, let me know what you think. Let me know if Lab-4 for you in the old school days, or even more recently. Again, with Les sort of reviving the name, whether you're a big fan like I am. I mentioned this tune in particular, and the Reformation 2, fair to say, were like early records that I got that were sort of like, marquee records in my arsenal, and that, maybe I didn't play them at every party I played back in the day, but they were in the bag just in case, like I thought I might throw it on. And I definitely remember playing it once at the Masterdome. So yeah, like I said, I ended the set with it because, again, it's like and for the Masterdome, for those of you not from the Southern California rave scene, it was this place. It used to be called like the San Bernardino Sportsplex, I think, and then they changed the name to the Masterdome, and I don't know if it was the same people who owned it, but they threw concerts there and a lot of rave parties, and it was sort of like, I feel like it got to a point because it was a rave venue where like generally the comps didn't break up the parties, so it was like a more like assured event. So I think a lot of promoters got, I'm not gonna say lazy, look, I get it, throwing parties must be a number of logistical challenges, but there was a few years, like maybe 2000 to 2002, where there was so many parties at the Masterdome. So I feel like people just kind of got like a bit lazy with it, like, well, we could go here and it might be this cool thing, but the cops could break it up, let's just go to the Masterdome. Nevertheless, I played it there in the main room, and I remember it really went off. So yeah, let me know what you think about this tune. Let me know if you played it at a party back in the day or heard it at a party back in the day and it really sort of set your brain on fire. As I mentioned, I first heard it on a CD compilation, but then I got the record and was grateful enough to use it. It's weird though, I do remember another DJ playing it before I got it, because I remember thinking like, oh shit, this is the fucking tune from that illegal techno CD, but I don't remember, what DJ it was or what party it was at. Nevertheless, let me know what you think about the tune. I do appreciate you listening and watching. Have a good day, have a good night. I'll see you next time. Peace.